Public procurement refers to the purchase of goods, services, and works by governments and state-owned enterprises. It accounts for a significant portion of taxpayer revenue. Governments are expected to conduct public procurement efficiently and with very high standards to ensure quality of service delivery while safeguarding the public interest. Senior Procurement Officer in the Department of Finance, Trevor Cyril, acknowledged that in the past, procurement has not been accorded the level of seriousness that it truly deserves. He was pleased, however, to see that St. Lucia has now followed the path of the international community by recognizing the importance of the procurement function.
When you look at the value of procurement on an international level, it is accounting for 12% of government expenditure. In 2018 dollars in St. Lucia, our GDP was $1.922 billion. Procurement, as 12% of that would work out to about $230.6 million, and that's conservative. That is a significant amount of money. And so we need to put administrative procedures and a framework in place to ensure that government taxpayer dollars are best utilized and we end up with the best outcome.
With funding under the Canada Caribbean Resilience Facility, CRF, the World Bank team undertook a review of the post-disaster public financial management in St. Lucia, of which public procurement is a key component, particularly in response to a disaster or emergency. A stock-taking exercise on public procurement was conducted with relevant stakeholders during the month of August to discuss the new systems and modalities in public procurement, such as e-procurement and legislative reform governing public procurement. Anthony Jean is the Assistant Director for Public Procurement in the Department of Finance.
So it's not just only to introduce flashy systems of e-procurement and new legislation, but you want the persons really impacted to feel like some sense of ownership in this, because it's not being done primarily for us, it's being done for everybody. So our stakeholders, it's important that they're on board, they understand the history, they understand what it is we're doing, and importantly again, the next steps, how it impacts on them, how it requires them to respond, and we factor that into our action plans.
Deputy Economist in the Department of Economic Planning, Pearl Alcindor, agrees that public procurement must be given greater attention as it represents government expenditure into the local economy, which serves to stimulate economic activity.
Stock taking is very important in terms of looking at the efficiency of your project, looking at what are the gaps in your project activities, what are the troublesome areas that needs to be addressed so you can course correct and become more efficient to ensure that you deliver the outcome that you contemplated in the definition of your project.
One of the key stakeholders in the stocktake exercise was Calvin Lee, the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Department of Infrastructure, Ports, Energy and Labour. He noted that procurement is a critical aspect of the ministry's functions, which directly impacts the public works program.
Because a lot of what we do impacts the general public from the point of view that, apart from the benefit of having a good road, but the construction works, the repair works are normally done by locals. So whether they work for a large company or medium-sized one or individual small contractors would build drainage and small walls and that kind, all benefit from that. So procurement for us is critical in that the transparency of it, the accountability of it, it accounts for a significant portion of our annual budget.
One of the recommendations emanating from the stocktake exercise is increased capacity building for all stakeholders in the procurement process, in reference to the new tools, procedures and legislation necessary to modernize the procurement system. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.